So this is the last video on the handling failure section, and I want to wrap it up with one last final thought, and that's just touching on the mental toughness again, because in my opinion, mental toughness is the answer to handling failure. Because when you can have mental toughness, and that is what you rely on to help you handle failure, you're always going to be better off than not. You're always going to be able to attack it and really bring your best self to the table when you're going up against a tough match against failure. And from my own experience, when I would try to use my mental toughness and really bring some intensity to that as well, usually that helped me out the most. And so because it's not easy, and we're all human beings, and this is real life we're talking about, and a lot of these things are easier said than done. To be quite frank with you, a lot of these things I'm still trying to get better at today. By no means have I mastered everything that I'm teaching you, but I have figured out what has been true and not true throughout my life journey and experiences to help share to others of what they can now use and rely on in their own journey as well. So with mental toughness, man, it's that decision. It's having grit, having some intensity that, when you're getting kicked down, when you're getting knocked down, having the ability to get up and say, you know what, not today. Not today and not with me. This is not happening. And again, that intensity, that bring it on mentality is something I think we all need to adopt. And we're all going to do it in our own styles. But when you can do that and you can stare failure into the face, you can stare your opponent in the face and let them know you're not scared, you're not going to back off or back down, you still have confidence in yourself, you still have confidence in your God, and you know that He is with you, right? And so even as a faith-driven athlete, some of these thoughts, for me were, I have the Lord on my side. Who am I to fear? What failure am I to fear with God and the Lord on my side backing me up throughout this whole thing? And when you can have that, that's powerful, because now it's not just yourself. Now you know it's a higher power that's with you every step of the way, because you're praying to Him, you're talking to Him, you're believing in what He's taught you, or you're rehearsing some Bible verses that you know can help guide you. You're just doing these things throughout your day, and you're implementing them mentally on a daily basis, routinely, where it's now a habit. And you start to see, again, how this all comes full circle, and you start to evolve yourself into the next version of you through Him, through God, in a way that's so powerful that you won't be able to explain it or describe it. You can only feel it. And that alone, I think, is the best answer to handling failure, to going about your life, and to being able to have more mental toughness, knowing it's not just you doing this, you're doing this in a way for a greater purpose, to serve a higher power, to do it in a way where you're proud of yourself, God's proud of you, of how you're handling it, and you're following the rules of life of how you want to live as a person, to be a good character and a good person, serving others, serving God, loving others, but also just being the best person you can be and leaving it all out on the table, leaving it all out on the line, knowing that when you're done, there's nothing left. And that you've maxed out every area so that when you go home, you can now sleep with rest and sleep in peace, because you have done everything you possibly could do. And that's the question. If you have truly done everything you possibly are capable of with all of your effort, what more else do you want? What more else could you expect of yourself, right? And so you're going to start to be able to live with the results with a lot more peace, knowing that you have left it all out on the table. And those two things go hand in hand. And so it's kind of funny how that works sometimes when you think about it. You'll get more peace by putting in more effort. And so one has to come after another has happened. You're not going to get more peace by just going through life without putting in the work. It's not just going to show up for you. And so I want to leave it with that. I think that for me, just to share a personal story and a personal mindset that I would have with handling failure, and kind of the approach you want to have, kind of the attitude you want to have towards it, bring it on, because you have this guy on your side, and you're going to give everything you got, and you know that there's a plan for you that God has set in place. What more else could you ask for?